What would get you breathing again?
The will to breathe. Inspiration.
You need a muse.
I've never needed a muse before.
I hope you're not going to send me back out into the rain without sleeping with me.
I'm trying to write.
Woody Allen,
en scène dans
you're
ce film,
showing in this film, if you like, this philosophy teacher. He's very well known. He's a kind of a bit of a Lothario, but he's lost. He can't write. He's got a block. He's wondering what he's doing. He's depressed. Is this something that you who write, you film, you're a creative person, have you ever felt the same thing?
No, not as acutely. I'm much more even-tempered.
Vous n'avez jamais... Vous n'avez jamais manqué d'inspiration?
You've never lacked inspiration? You've never been...
No, I've never lacked inspiration, and I'm sorry to say I've never had a bad moment.
Eh bien, c'est tant mieux. Comment vous est
So how did you,
cette envie de décrire ce
what made you want to describe this teacher? I mean, you still had issues with philosophy, or what?
No, it's just a story. I made it up, and I thought that it would make a good story, and wrote it. And we made a film out of it, and now we'll see if people like it. If they enjoy it, they'll come, and if they see it and they don't enjoy it, they'll tell their friends not to see it. And that will be the end of it.
Ouais, c'est ce qui se passe effectivement.
You're absolutely right, of course. So, once again, you worked with Emma Stone. Why? Why Emma Stone?
She was there. She was at the door. I turned to my right, and there she was. And, she looked hungry. So we gave her a part.
C'est vrai, vous aviez faim de
You were hungry to shoot with Woody, was that it?
That's just how I show up for all my roles. I kind of just come knocking and begging at the door with a bowl, like Oliver.
Quand Woody Allen
So when Woody Allen, calls you, do you always say yes before you read the script, or I mean, if you get called by Woody Allen, do you read the script, or do you bother?
Well, no. I mean, he's always allowed me to read the script, and I mean, it's just really a matter of timing. But it's always such an exciting prospect to work with Woody, and I mean, I've had such a wonderful time on both of these movies. So, it's it is a pretty easy thing to say yes to.
Qu'est-ce que vous aviez envie de
What did you want
justement,
to revisit, if you like, to study, to explore? How do you choose to film something very intimate like this? What's interesting for you? First of all, what would you like to show?
It's just an idea for a story, and you tell the story as the narrative unfolds. There's no other thinking about it. You think, gee, it would make a good story if this guy overheard something and it led him to some kind of decision in his life, and then you write it and you film what's necessary to show on the screen to tell that story. It's really very colorless and mechanical. I mean, that's what you do, and you hire good actors and actresses, and you tell them as little, get out of their way and let them work, and keep it as simple as possible.
Because this is your second Woody Allen movie, are there plans to do a third? And talk to me about working with Mr. Allen, and are you a proper Miss Marple in real life?
A proper what is it?
Miss Marple, she's a detective.
Oh, she's a detective. I see. Okay. There are no plans as it stands to do a third, but, wouldn't that be nice? And I don't know if I'm much of a detective in real life, but I'd like to think so. Yes, this was autobiographical. Oh, I mean, I had a wonderful experience working with Woody on both of the films, and as he said, I mean, you don't need to. Woody has a very long and storied history, writing and directing great movies. So it's it's an honor to be a part of two.
Was this the first time you worked with Mr. Allen, Miss Posey?
Yes.
And
I loved it. You know, I met Woody 20 years ago, I guess, on the movie that Jennifer Tilly did. Someone get that? And the other movie with John Cusack and Mary Louise Parker. So 20 years later, I go in and I meet him in his office, and I'm the right fit for this role. A week before, I was at the Krakow Film Festival in Poland with Juliet Taylor as casting director. So all these things happened that I was able to portray this part, and I really enjoyed the experience. I learned a lot, and I got to work on a Woody Allen movie and play one of his women. I have loved his women and his characterization of women. No one does it like him. So to play someone deep and thoughtful and suffering and funny was a real honor, and I really enjoyed it. My name here says Parker Posey, which I think is great.
Okay.
Does it say it on the other? Oh. I am Parker and Parker. Okay. But yeah, this is my first Woody Allen film. Yep.
question over there.
Do you think in a man's life there's a moment where he may choose his irrational side over rationality? Intuition is something that can speak stronger to a man's life. And the other one is, you have made so many films about considering a murdering. Have you ever considered murdered someone? Probably a producer, I don't know. Thank you.
Even as you speak. I do think in everybody's life there are times when there are turning points in your life when you suddenly realize that something momentous can possibly happen if you make a choice. And if you make the right choice, great. In this case, the choice that Joaquin makes is irrational, but it's not so irrational given the comparison with the choices that we all make in our lives. You know, if you look at people need something to. I hear bells. People need something to believe in their lives. They have to choose whether life is going to be meaningful for you or meaningless. And people will choose religions in their lives, for example, and they'll make an irrational choice. They'll think that if they live a very good life, they will die and go to heaven and live in heaven for the rest of their life. That's no less crazy a thought than Joaquin thinking that if he commits this act, his life will suddenly turn around for the better. As long as there's something dedicated that you can believe in, you make a choice and you go with it. I don't know if I answered your question there. I was just rambling, but that's the way that I see it.
I think you're losing interest in me because of Abe Lucas.
Oh, God, Roy. We've had this conversation so many times. He's a friend.
I think he'd be fine if he was more than a friend.
Oh. Can we please not discuss
But Jill,
this?
it's so obvious. It's obvious.
You know what? There's nothing going on, so you're paranoid.
Okay. Okay.
Woody Allen préféré? Mais il y en a un que,
My favorite Woody Allen,
qui
this
est pas
one?
le plus connu, mais que
It's not the
j'adore,
best known,
c'est
which I
Danny
love.
Rose.
It's Broadway Danny Rose.
Comment allez-vous ce soir? How are you?
I'm okay. I'm just fine. Very happy.
It's not your first time at the Cannes Rodeo. How does it feel to come back with your movies here?
I always enjoy coming to the Cannes Festival because the crowds are very enthusiastic, very nice. It's all about cinema, and I see many people in my business that I don't get a chance to see usually. I meet them at restaurants on the street, and so it's very nice.
I love movies here. I'm having a hard time defining a movie. Is it a philosophical thriller? Is it a romantic comedy? How would you define it?
I would define it as a cinematic masterpiece.
As all your movies are, monsieur.
What?
As all your movies are.
Yes, I like that. We can keep repeating it.
Merci beaucoup. How is it to work with Monsieur Woody Allen?
It was a really good experience.
What kind of director is he? Does he let you do whatever you want, or does he direct you very well?
Both. Combination of both.
I have a hard time defining the movie. Is it a philosophical thriller? Is it a romantic comedy?
Not sure. I think it could be all of those things.
That's why it's good.
How is it to work with a maestro like you would expect?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, how can I explain it? I was working with a maestro. It's too personal and complex and amazing. I was so thrilled to have that experience. Oh my God, yeah, it was amazing.
You're doing a terrific job.
This whole thing is surreal to me. It was a wish granted to be in a Woody Allen movie and then to actually be here.
And you are terrific in it.
Thank you. Merci.
dress is not dry. I love the tune that fills the air. I love to smell your hair again. I love to lay down on the sand. I love the way your elbows bend. I love to feel your arms on mine. I love to hear you say you're fine. I love to watch the horizon. I love to come back when I'm gone. I love the taste of one night down. I love your bare feet on the lawn.